Hello and welcome to the next video in the series of economics versus the environment. We're still looking at the economic side of the debate, and the question today is, why did people make the choices they made? So why do we have to look back at history? Because it shows the choices we have made in the last 130 years, and it is those choices which have caused the present problems. If we look at why we made those choices and the other roads we could have taken, maybe we'll find a new choice to solve the present problem. So why did people make the choices they made? Most of the people in the countries that are now rich were very poor at that time. So choosing more money before other things was a natural choice. We also have to look at all the improvements in life experiences. Things like cleaner air, better educational opportunities, safer working environments, better healthcare, better transport. It's almost the same list as the things that poor countries are trying to fix today. The rich countries solved the problems on that list by choosing to increase GDP and wealth. But a point was reached in rich countries where most of those problems had been more or less solved. In education, for example, most people in rich countries can get a reasonable level of education for free. The same is true for healthcare, and the roading system is pretty good. Of course, all these things can still be improved, but in economic speak, the marginal return is getting very small in some cases. In normal speak, the benefit you get from the amount of extra money it costs is getting smaller and smaller. The school leaving age in rich countries has been raised to a level where raising it more would cause problems. The benefit would probably not cover the loss of experience in other areas, such as on-the-job training. In healthcare, we are finding new cures, but the massive benefits that came from vaccination against diseases like smallpox and typhoid and diphtheria are long gone. In the consumer world too, we have long passed the point where all our basic wants have been met. Our focus on getting richer and making more money has caused many problems in areas that are no longer being focused on as we try to make more money. Critical non-money areas like relationships and the family are in serious trouble in the USA. Drug taking and drinking too much alcohol to cope with these non-money problems has exploded and crossed all wealth and class boundaries. Problems are caused by people having too much money. For example, health problems with obesity. In economic speak, the marginal utility of money has gone down as wealth has increased. Marginal utility means that if you have no food, one potato makes you incredibly happy. A second potato will make you happy, but not quite as much as the first one. By the time you get to the 6th, 7th, or 10th potato, you don't want any more. Money is like that in rich countries. As people get more and more, the extra happiness that they get from the same amount of extra money is less and less. To say it another way, many people in rich countries don't see money as the thing that is most lacking in their life. There are other things that they want to work on more than money. Because of that, the producers have tried to create demand by increasing the frequency of fashion changes. If your clothes are last year's color, you will buy new ones, even though the old ones are still good. Consumers are not stupid. They know when they're not getting as much value for their money as before. So why do they keep on buying more and more things? This is where the advertising industry comes in. Its only aim is to drive up consumption. If you ask what we have to do to solve the conflict between the economy and the environment, reducing consumption, especially unnecessary consumption, is very high on the list. The aim of the advertising industry is exactly the opposite. It wants you to consume more. It doesn't matter if you already have everything you want. It wants to persuade you to want more. And it's very clever at doing that. It's a bit like the current practice of feeding marijuana to pigs to make them eat more and get fatter. For the farmer, the aim is to make the pig as fat as possible so there's more meat. For the seller, the aim is to make the consumer spend as much as possible so there's more profit. For the farmer, the problem is that after it has eaten, the pig is full and doesn't want to eat any more. For the seller, the problem is after a while, all the customer needs are satisfied and they don't want to buy anymore. So the farmer feeds the pig marijuana so it will eat more. The seller uses advertising so that the customers want to buy more. The result, the pig gets fatter and the farmer gets more meat, and the consumers buy more and the seller gets more profit. Without the power of advertising to persuade us that we need something new, the pressure to keep producing more and using more of the planet's natural resources would go away. At that time, there would be a good chance that we could balance our economic wants with environmental concerns. We would be closer to what they thought in the 1890s, that technology improvements could be used to give us more free time, not more things to use, to throw away, and cause waste problems. And this is the end, my friend. See you again next time.